In this video, I'm going to show how to run some tests on a React app using Vitest. So Vitest is a very new testing framework compared to something like Jest. So before we start writing the test files, we need to install and set up quite a few files and packages. So in my package.json, in my dev dependencies here, you can see I have Vitest, and then we also need a React test renderer. We need JS we need Jest, and then we need the testing libraries for Jest and then React. And then after that, we need the types for the different libraries as well, so that it works with TypeScript. So once I have all this set up, I can go to my scripts here, and then in my scripts, I have set test as Vitest. And then after this, we also need to go into our Vite config to to set some configurations for the test. So we can see here there is a test configuration here. So I set my globals to true. The environment is set as JS DOM, and then I have also a setup file. So in my setup file, if you go to the setup file, there are two lines here. So the first line is to extend by test expect method with React testing library. So React testing library is this one. So I'm expecting the to expect.extend matches. And then after that, we have another line here. So this line is just to clean up after each test case. So after each test case, you will erase up the React app and then restart again. Okay. So once I have my packages installed and my setup done, I can write the test file itself. So in the test file here, first of all, we have this describe. So describe, this is just to group a group of tests together. So describe, I'm doing a describe navbar unit test. And then in my describe, I'm using it. So it should render all icons and buttons. So it signifies the start of a test. We can use the test as well. So test works the same as it. For this, I'm using it. Okay, so it. So first of all, we need to render the navbar in order for the test to start running. So first we render the navbar, and then wrapping it in the router. In a router from React Router DOM because I am testing the navigation of my navbar. So without the router, the navigations will not work, and my navbar will not render at all. And then next we use expect. So expect is the actual test itself. So expect screen.get by text, and then I have this text here to be in the document. Okay, so if we go to the navbar I have here, we can see I have a tag with the text certificate admin site. So I am in this test, I am looking for this a tag here. I'm making sure this a tag is rendered properly. So certificate admin site, so get by text. And then the next line, I'm using expect get by alt text. So for alt text, it's looking for the alt text of my usually an image. So if I go to my navbar component, and then I go to an image, so I have a source for my logo here, and then I have alt text logo. So this line here, this expect line here, get by alt text will look for the logo in the look for the alt text logo to be in the document, and then the next three lines will be the same as the first certificate admin site itself. So it's the same, and then this entire test should pass if my navbar component has rendered properly with all my logos and all my button tags. And then next, I am testing the navigation of my navbar itself. So I have three buttons on this specific navbar, and then how to test whether if I click on the navbar, will it route to the correct location. Okay, so for this, first of all, we will render the navbar with the router wrapper again. Okay, and then after this, we are using screen.getByText issue form to look for my nav buttons. So before we are just we are just putting the get by text in the expect sentence and expect segment itself. But for this, we are assigning it to a constant. So I am assigning it to a constant form issue button. So it's saving where my specific button is. So once I have my button saved, I can use this fire event function, okay, to click on the issue form button. Okay, so I am looking for the my issue form button, and then I am using fire event to click on the button itself. Okay, and then once I've done that, I expect the so window location.href would be where my current uh, the current link will be. So I'm looking to make sure that when I click on my issue form button, my current link should be in localhost slash home slash issue forms. So if when I click on the button, the website goes to this link, this test will pass. Okay. So I have three buttons. So I have repeated this similar line to the three different buttons. So I have my issued certificate button. I have my settings button. So issued certificate button would link to certificate underscore list, and then my settings button would link to settings. So once I have all this, uh, I can just run npm test. I already have it running, so I just save the file. So when I save the file, it should just rerun the test, and then it should be successful. So I have one test file here, so it is my navbar.test.tsx. So another thing to take note is that in order to have the framework detect your test files, you need to name it as .test.tsx. So whatever name you want in front, and then .test.tsx, this would signify that this is a test file. Okay, so for this test files one, so one test file in my which is my navbar.test.tsx, and then test I have two, which is this it should render all icons and buttons, and then it should navigate to different components. So two different tests, both have passed.